Yeah, hello. So my name is Birgit Becker from EGroupware. I have been many talks before, so I'm not going too deep into EGroupware itself. I want to go for something specific, which is E-invoices with EGroupware. Yeah, I'm one of the managing directors at EGroupware, and you may know or you may not know that e-invoices is a big topic, at least in Germany, from this year on, for business-to-business interactions. So you are required now as a business company to be able to receive, store, and process e-invoices. And from beginning of next year, you need to be able to create e-invoices. And so everything invoice part needs to be on an electronic way. And one important thing to understand is a PDF doesn't fit into that e-invoicing thing because it's not structured enough to be automatically processed. So in Germany, at least, there are two formats which nicely fit into that e-invoicing thing. One is a pure XML format, which is called X-Rechnung. And the other one, it's called Zugpferd. Don't ask me for that acronym. But it's a hybrid model of the PDF, which can be easily displayed and read, also from human beings, and an embedded XML file in the PDF. But what you need to know is whatever is shown on the PDF doesn't matter at all. The important thing is the only thing which matters for this e-invoicing is the data in the XML file. So if you create something, you could show, for sure it's stupid to do that, but in general you could show something totally different, even the amount someone has to pay on the PDF than what's in the XML, and it doesn't count at all what's in the PDF. So this is how such a Zugpferd invoice will look like. On the left-hand side, you see the readable PDF. On the right-hand side, you see the structured XML format, which is for sure, it's an interpreted XML displayed here, because the XML itself looks totally different, showing the different values going for the buyer information and all these kind of things. But at least there are some things which makes it available for human beings to also read what's in the XML file. And so we had the decision to make, are we going to either create something in EGroupware itself, which is able to process and handle and export and create all these XML things, or do it and transfer it somewhere else? And we decided it makes more sense for us and for our customers that we are able to do it on our own. It doesn't mean that there is a cutting point at some part where you anyway move the data over to tax department and whatever, but it always is a question of, am I able to, let's see, process that invoice, check everything's correct before I hand it over? And therefore we created that app beginning of or end of last year to be able to start with it, and this is how it looks like. Wasn't there somewhere that nice pointer thing? No. Doesn't matter. So there are different kind of general options, and if you mouse over on something, you see also this is what it goes in the XML file. And it has some positions where you can order all the data, some summarization about this is amount goes with text X and Y, These are the payment terms, these are buyer informations and all these kind of things. So just 2 screenshots showcasing that a bit better. And this is how it works. For sure, I faked a bit what's displayed here. So you see a bit about how EGroupware in general looks like. And you have a list of your invoices being displayed so that you can also summarize from when I go for outgoing things, has it already been paid, what are the amounts I'm expecting for this month or next month or whatever. And then when I created something, I simply go for the invoicing part, and I can say either use insert into document, which is something specific we have in all applications because we are working with the data. And we use placeholders, so you can store parts in a readable template as a placeholder, and then the data gets merged into the document. But you can also directly create or use something for importing by having a PDF and just clicking on it, getting it into your invoice app, and then it gets imported into the system for being able to process and view the data. So to be able to really efficiently use it, we have a lot of options for the configuration. Like, this is my data I want to use as seller information. Here is my tax information, all these things, and it gets automatically sent into the XML format. But you can also specify custom fields. So from the customer, when I want to create the invoice, this is where the customer number is stored. And this is where the IBAN is stored and all these kind of things. And then when you create it, you simply select it from your address book. You select the customer and it gets automatically into the invoice, and you just need to add whatever you want to have in your invoice. So this is like the configuration things are looking, and you can easily specify it to your needs. So it doesn't matter if you may already have stored customer numbers in, and the field is named like that. You just specify this is a field name, and therefore it takes the information from there. And with this placeholder system, you can create an invoice for that Zugpferdrechnung, which looks like your invoice as in PDF looks before also. And you can also create an email template specifying, hello customer, which replaces customer automatically with the customer data. Here is your invoice from specifying the invoice number and all these kind of things. And then when you create it, this is an example how our invoice with the PDF or with the, it's created in Collabora Online, and it just has a placeholder information, and they get merged then it was the data of the customer and created as a PDF. And additionally to the PDF, for the PDF generation, we use the SDK API. And then we have a different plugin creating the XML and embedding it into the PDF. And so this is like the invoicing process looks like. I have my invoice information going into, and I select an invoice template here. This can also be different, for example, for different use cases. We have a German and an English version of that. And I'm specifying my email template, and then I'm just clicking on issue to start that process, and it automatically generates the PDF and attach it to the mail, and it opens in my Compose window showing all these kind of things. And this is like an invoice then looks as the PDF being generated. And this is like the XML file being embedded in that thing would look like if you just look at the pure XML in that file. And this is like the composing way then looks like. You have automatically the customer selected with the invoice email address being addressed. You have the invoice being attached to it. You find it automatically the text you prepared in your template, and you just send it out. And it's automatically stored in the system attached to the invoice. So also the storing and processing, which is legally binding, is given with that. But you can also manually do it and use that whole processing with the templates you have. And these things, for example, for something like Zahlungserinnerung, so I'm missing the word at the moment. Payment reminders. So you just send it out and use the same system for payment reminders for your customers. Thank you. If you have any questions, this is what we do with EGroupware in general in combination with Collabora Online.